word help us to connect and help us to choose actually whether we want to have our eyes open, whether we want to have our eyes closed, and whether we want to soften everything and then be ready physically, mentally, emotionally to the practice. A lot of times we kind of set the intentions to show up, but we don't show up fully because there might be something triggering in our mind stopping us from kind of like showing up fully. So something at the back of our mind there, holding us and from going deeper. Keeping the breath nice and rhythmic through the nose, out of the nose. And often as well, I find it in a way easier to breathe in from the nose first and fully exhale from the mouth. And that's sighing a breath. Release the jaw. And in a way, it brings you to the moment as well. So you go, so do that a few times till you really and truly feel the breath out fully. And once the breath out fully, come back to that breath in and out fully, but with your mouth closed. And be and see and notice the difference. We're constantly working in this way with our mindset, with our breath, with our body to be present. And then the longer we are present, it is a way to kind of connection, in a way to grounding us, in a way that everything we take as a decision wise or anything that we step into our life becomes clearer. Because that's what we seek at the end. We seek a contentment, we seek a way that we feel and we want to be happy in our life. There's nothing like straightforward, let's put it this way. There's always going to be obstacles, there's always going to be ups and downs, there's always going to be turn and twist. But whatever kind of like encounter us into this journey, we are kind of like in a way ready for it. And that's what yoga teaches us a lot about ourselves. So yes, there are physical asana practice, but there's so much depth to the physical asana practice. Is how we turn really, truly inward, and we give ourselves the opportunity to turn inward without the judgment, and without the attachment, and without the ego. So they are the three impurities, as a yoga on this path, as yogis and yoginis, we wanted to kind of like, I don't like to use the word mastering in a way, because we really don't master anything in yoga. We live yoga and we feel yoga. But this are the impurities that we want to release and remove from our way. But to do this, yes, we have to work with the mind and the breath. And we have to really ask ourselves, what does it actually truly serve me? What is it serving us in this day? What is it that's helping me for first to be sane, regardless of what's happening around us? And am I living in fear all the time? Am I living in anxiety all the time? And there's doubt, and of course, insecurities. And sadly, we are. All of these, they are there in front of us now. It's been a tough year, definitely. And I think everyone, to a point, we are affected. And maybe we deny it sometimes because we're strong, embodiment of the practices and the warriors and, to go and fight for things that we believe in, of course. But at some point, it will get into us, and how we react to it. That's the question. Do we really crumble to really kind of like break down and surrender? Or we actually pick ourselves up and say, no, it's okay. It's a phase. I need to be strong for myself, for my loved one, for my family. for whatever you need to be for, basically. And that's the true embodiment of the practice of yoga. So you inhale, followed by the exhale, and again exhale, followed by the inhale. So we went that with a gentle pranayama. It's called the yogic breath, or the full yogic breath, or sometimes the three-part breath as well. So keep your hand position comfortably, either palms down or palms up, and connect thumb and index finger to kind of receive, palms up, to ground yourself more, palms down. And if you palm down, you cross-legged, and then you allow your knee to drop down more to the earth, and you're cupping the palms into the knee, and the other three fingers release that. And what I mentioned, the impurities, and usually the other three fingers represent in this mudra the impurities. So we connect the air element with the fire element in this mudra. We let go of the judgment. We let go of the ego and the attachment. So the three-part of breath, you inhale through the nose, and you draw the breath kind of like in and up. This is the prana. Prana is the life force energy. The inward and upward breath. Okay? Now the apana, which is I mentioned last week, if you remember some of the classes, and the mudra, of course, the apana is a downward, inward and downward breath. Okay? So when you inhale, it comes from the belly, into the upper chest, ribs, into the throat. The apana, you push the breath down. But you push it in the same way, in the same kind of like stages. That's why it's often referred to as a three-part breathing. Now, I do sometimes different three-part breathing. It's the chi building breath. And please don't get confused between them because it's easily confused. We're not stopping the breath at all. It's a full inhalation and full exhalation to a point where you're actually long inhalation and long exhalation. Yeah, so you're really breathing and you feel the breath moving into your body without any stopping, and your exhale is moved in the other direction. Prana, inward and upward, apana, inward and downward. Slowly, this three-part breath comes and meets in the center of our being. The center of our being, of course, is the anahata, the heart center, the unstruck. And of course, as well, the prana and the apana is often referred to as the co-mingling or the dance of the breath within us. And this dance is the Shiva and Shakti. You know, the Shakti rising from the base of the spine all the way upward, Shiva descending, and these two, like a breath, these two dance meet right in the center of our being. And the center of our being, of course, is the heart. And when they sit in the heart, this is their home. And we often as well refer to as the home of the Shiva and Shakti, the abode of Shiva and Shakti, that they sit inside our own heart. And that's why, you know, regardless we're male, female, we always have this energy inside us. There's always this commingling energy inside us. There's always this kind of like entwined together, and there's a dance of this breath that move within us. And this move and this dance of the breath can release anything and everything that really and truly doesn't serve us. And we are connected inward to the self. Let's do a couple more rounds of this pranayama. Prana, apana. Good, and softly and gently, ready to, when you finish the last round, we're going to keep the breath going. We're going to open your eyes and we're going to start to move slightly through the body. So I thought today or tonight's practice, what we'll do a few standing, but we'll do mostly grounded work as well. kind of like a little bit seated, twisted form, and open up as well. Still hatha practice, still back to basics with the form and the shape. We always need the blocks and a belt at some point. Take your arms forward, shoulders back, cross your left wrist on top of the right wrist, turn the palm towards each other, and then gently press into the palms, one thumb on top. Keep the palms together, squeeze the knuckles towards your heart and out to the front, and then squeeze it back, front of the heart, and open up towards the sky. You can bend your elbow, you can take your arm straight up, lengthen, crescent lightly over to the right, come back center and crescent lightly over to the left. Come back to the center, take your arms forward. Now release your hand, right wrist on top, interlace. Again, cross one thumb, bring the knuckles in, squeeze the elbows, and gently release to the wrist. And then take it back out to the front and up towards the sky. Lengthen, keep the neck long. Exhale over to the left. Inhale, center, and exhale over to the right. Come back to the center. Take the arms right in front of you. Release the wrist and open your arms wide on the inhale. On the exhale, cross your left wrist on top. Inhale, like a little bit rock with your hips. Open up. Exhale, the right wrist on top. Inhale, open wide your wings. Exhale, left wrist on top. Inhale, open up. Right wrist on top. And one more on left. Inhale and open. Exhale, left wrist on top. Slowly and gently open your arms and release your hand. Let's give the neck a little bit release. And I'm going to come onto tabletop. So take the blanket away, take your bolsters, whatever you need sitting on, and come to tabletop. And then press into the palms, tuck the toes, or untuck, of course, into the cat-cow. Spread your fingers, exhale to round in your back, draw the chin to the chest. Inhale, lift up through the heart center and open up. And again, exhale to round in your back. Inhale, open. Breathing out to really round your back. Breathing in. The last one, exhale. And inhale. Good. Gently when it comes to what we call Anahatasana, the heart center. Take your knees apart. Take your arms forward. And it's not a child pose. Remember, we're not sitting all the way. You can bring your blanket or a bolsters or anything underneath your heart center. Allow the heart to melt down, press in the palms. You can either look forward or rest your forehead on the mat or even a blanket. And allow yourself to melt into the earth. Feel the breath in the back of your body. Feel the prana and the apana moving nice and slowly. Take an inhale and take an exhale. Good. Very slowly. From there, push yourself up. And then we're going to release the wrist. Take your right hand, palms facing upward, cross like the forearm, kind of parallel to the front of your mat. A little bit like self-love, self-massage. Leg your left hand onto the wrist, and then use the heel of your hand to go up and down towards the elbow, into the forearm, into the kind of the flesh, and move it a little bit more down towards the wrist. One more time up. And then we're going to switch it. Left palms facing upward, shin bone parallel, or the forearm parallel. Start with your heel of your hand through the wrist and goes up towards the elbow, using the flesh as well to release it. And then come down one more time, come up one more time. Just really, really slowly release and press your hand back to the floor. Tuck your toe, take your hands slightly forward, lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Keep your hips up and back, push into the hand, draw the chin to the chest, And you walk the heel one at a time, mindfully and carefully, to really feel the open through the back of the leg, through the hamstring, through the quads, through the heel, and of course, don't forget the upper body. Beautiful. Nice inhale. One more time. Exhale from here. And then we're going to move your hand backward towards your feet. Move your hand back. And as you reach your feet, walk your feet out a little bit. Bend your knee, drop the head, and sway a little bit left and right, right and left. If your hand doesn't touch the earth, catch opposite elbows, or simply get into the blanket, into the blocks, or bend your knee a little bit more. Start to sway a little bit side to side. Good inhale. And softly exhale. Bend your knee, open your arms wide, and reach your arms up to the sky. As you reach up, catch your left wrist lightly present to the right. Try not to push your hips so much. Come back to the center, catch your right wrist, and lightly present to the left with your upper body to really stretch that right side of your body. Come back to the center, release your hand towards the earth. Keep your shoulder a little bit shrug in the direction, the other direction, but maybe the neck a little bit side to side, very slowly. From here, your left foot on the floor, step your right foot forward, and we're gonna start with a lunge. I'm just gonna a little bit like get into the legs. Just want to get your hips and shoulders to face forward. You're gonna bend your left knee slightly and place your hand onto your right side like that. Now, often in a lunge, when we take the arms up, we start to move sideways. That's two reasons can be. Either your legs, so you see my legs a bit actually shorter. And I did it on purpose to step forward to like show you. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slide my left leg back, but that's gonna allow my knee to bend more. With the knee bend more, you're gonna create some more space in your lower back and you engage your abdomen for a reason, and your left quad should feel, and the glutes and the hip flexor on your left leg, and of course, the right buttocks. Now, we can still wobble side to side if we're not pulling the center. So this is where I often refer to the push and the pull. So I'm pushing my right foot, but I'm pulling at the same time towards my left toe. I'm pushing my left toe, and I'm pulling it towards the right heel at the same time. And this energy, if you really use it, you're gonna feel so much here, opening, and then, of course, when you are grounded, your hands can become a bit more freer to do whatever you want. But let's focus on the legs for now. Let's really engage. Keep your hand there. Keep pushing your right heel, pulling at the same time. Keep pushing your left toe. This is going to really fire up, by the way. It is a very strong pose lunge. Very slowly and very lightly lower the left knee down. But to go with the left knee down, please carefully, if you need some support, roll the left edge of your mat. Bring the tops of your foot on the mat, and let's take the hips slightly forward. Now, this is going to be a little bit back bend for some. If we get too much, maybe pull up to create more, a little bit space here. If you're pushing your hips slightly, keep the shoulders back and the tops of your left foot on the ground. If you have a little bit glimpse over your left shoulder or right shoulder, make sure your foot points back, not inward. Often it will sickle to the right side, and it's going to really deep open. Now, it's exactly the same. So you push your right heel down and you pull, but then you tops of your foot, so your knee is lighter. Yes, the knee is on the mat, but it becomes lighter because you're really opening that left hip and the hip flexor, the quads, and the thigh. So the low lunge, high lunge, there are, there's a lot of similarity, of course, there. But one knee on the floor, one knee off the mat. You have to engage your legs a lot to create so much space in here. Then softly lower your hand down, tuck your toe on your left foot, lift the left knee. Now push your hips up. Then keep your high on your toes of your left foot. You can use the blocks, by the way. Come on the fingertips. Now lengthen the spine forward. Keep your toe on the ground. Claw the toes. Create some arch on your foot, right foot. Lengthen the spine once again. Stay on the ball of your left foot. Keep high, and then breathing out, fold over your right leg. So this is an intense stretch, but your toes on left foot on the ground, heel off the ground. Often your heel grounded. I just wanted to feel what it feels for you now. Another inhale here. Exhale, bend the right knee. Press your hand down and lightly step your right foot back. So we go back to downward dog. Push your hips up. Inhale and exhale. Okay, one more time. I'm going to walk the hands backwards. As you bring them back, feet hip width apart, fold all the way, sway a little bit side to side, either fingertip or opposite elbows. Inhale very gently, knee bend, arms wide, reach to the sky. So this I'm going to open up the shoulders. So you're going to take the right hand behind your head towards your left shoulder, and the left hand behind your head towards your right shoulder. So you can hook yourself, you don't need to. Now what happened, the energy through the elbow, shoulders is gonna push your head down. So you lightly resist the hand by pushing the head back. And this is gonna open your elbow a little bit. Ground into your feet, create so much space into that part of your body. As you ground down, you really lengthen and a space on your back. Now, we're going to keep the left hand as it is, slide your right hand from underneath to the top. We're still touching the same shoulders, but we take it from underneath to the top. Again, notice how we pull the elbow back, push your head back, ground your feet. So really and truly open all this part of your body. Inhale, and open on the exhale, arms wide. So now we're taking the left foot forward. So when you step the left foot, this is not enough lunge. Yeah, you're going to be on the ball of your right foot. And notice, is this so wobbly? For me, definitely, I'm not going to maintain that. So either I step the left foot more forward, and then I bend the right knee, both hands onto your side, as much as you can upright. This is quite tricky for some. Often, lunge, we do this because the back is tight and it's compressing so much. So let's take some pressure. Using the leg energy muscles in that leg. You drop the right knee slightly, push your heel towards the back. Now, your left heel down, pull. So push, pull, right toe, push, pull. And then this energy pull to the center, and you're ready in a good place for high lunge. For, little advice, I know it could be hard for some of us. Don't lock your knee in the lunge. I mostly work knee bend till I know my hips open. Then doesn't affect my back so much. Then I can straighten my leg. You can see my shoulder is so big in here. I've got a very flat shoulder at the bottom. But this is why I always work knee bend lightly till you get my hips to open. Once the hip open, then like I said, I can straighten. This part doesn't collapse. What I do, don't compress on your lower back. Lower the right knee down. Now, tops of your right on the mat. Again, lightly look over one shoulder to make sure your toes to the back. Lift up from here, pure bone, push forward. Inhale, breathe to your right side, left heel, push down and pull. Right knee, tops of your right foot, pull in. Shoulders back. You're gonna feel the glute active. Careful on your hip because look at my hips, you're gonna compress. You're pushing the femur bone against your hip bone. And you have to release that by pushing the right hip forward. So you kind of straighten as much as you can, what we call, or what I refer to, Rasa Yoga, as we call them, the four body temple, the four corners of our bodies, your shoulders and your hips. These are the strengths in there. When we are building the strength in these four corners, our limbs get so much stronger. Good. Release your hand down. Please use a block if you need to. Tuck your toe. Lift the right knee. Push your hips up. Push your hips up. Maybe slide your hand by the heel. Close the toes on your left foot. First, lengthen the spine. Remember, push your left heel. Pull your left hip. You create space on your ribs. When you are there, stay high on the ball of your right foot. Then the fold happens. When you fold, maintain this curl on your toes, maintain your hips, pull back, maintain the right toe active. Beautifully. Inhale deeply. Exhale very slowly. Bend the left knee. Press your hand down. Gently step your left leg back. Downward facing dog. Push your hips up. Breathing in. Breathing out. Draw the chin to the chest. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. Then lower the knees down. Now we can into exhale child pose. Big toe touching. Knees apart. Sit all the way towards your heels. Extend the arms out. Drop the forehead down. If not right reaching the earth, it's okay. Even your arms, even your buttocks doesn't sit your heel, that's okay. Really and truly breathing and honoring. On the child pose, you bring the palms together and then the forearm as much as you can touching. It's going to be tricky for the forearm to touch. And then come up halfway, bring the forearm towards each other, bring the little finger, and then push back to a point where, what do you mean push back? Your shoulders pull back till you keep your palms and your forearm connected. Like I say, it's quite tricky. We'll do something seated with you to help you with the shoulders in here. Inhale and exhale, then push that forearm, stack the shoulders over your elbow, draw the chin into the chest, separate your feet. Keep your knee wide and pull back. So you draw the chin in, you round your back. Push your forearm towards the other, push your palms down. Good inhale. Exhale, softly release. Press your hand onto the floor and then bring your left knee to the center. Now careful with your knee on this one. We're going to work with a little bit of Gomukhasana form and bring the right knee right in front of the left knee. Right toe will be half of it outside of your mat. Swivel the left toe to the right side of your mat. Stay on the tops of your feet. Breathing in, push your hips back halfway. Keep your right knee in front and on the floor. Bring your forearm down. Now we go back to the same thing. Press your palms, forearm together. Shoulders behind your elbow. Push your little finger towards the earth. Squeeze to the side of the quads and look towards your knee. So like a little gap between the triceps to look towards your right knee. Push the tops of your feet down. Push your little finger around your back. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Look forward. Press your right hand, left hand. And then very gently, please come back. So I'm going to show you something with the blocks. So if you have the blocks either side, so the block is going to give me a little bit more support and extension to my hand. So when I come up to see in an upright position on your knee, or the outer part is going to really feel. Tops of your feet, careful on your knee though. Please careful on your knee with this one. Keep the right knee in front, push the tops of your feet down. See how my hands on the blocks help me. And you know, you don't need them sometimes, but like a little, for my mind, I'm tricking it a little bit, tricking my mind by having a support. But they're there, they're not doing much. It's this part doing the work. The squeeze doing the part, shin bone towards the part, the pubic bone push forward, the squeeze in the glute, and often the left hip will turn out. Remember, we're going back to this four corners. This is a big, and the moment I take my left hip forward, the moment I feel this stretching, because today maybe need a bit more. Normally, I'm really good. I felt it. I did this morning actually on my practice, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. But because maybe something else happening in my right side, my body is asking my body to go a little bit over to the left. Then in this case, stay grounded, push up, breathing in, and just be with it as long as there's no pain. Good. Now, when we come in forward, this is why the blocks can help you, by the way. So as I come forward, I take the blocks, and this is a little bit more easier to come down. So if I show you without it, so what I'm doing when I go here, my body's gonna really fall forward. I'm pushing the feet, engage, then slowly my hand go down. Okay, tuck your toes. Carefully and slowly lift your knees. Your right foot is in front of the left. Your downward dog. But in downward dog, your right leg is crossed in front of the left leg. Push your hip up and back. You're gonna feel the right hamstring into the left quads. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Then lower the knee one more time down, and then gently, we're gonna take the right foot between your hands. So your left toes are still there, but we're gonna turn the tops of your left foot on the ground. And then lightly, you can take the blocks gently by the right foot. Just careful with your right knee because we're gonna drop the left hip more to lengthen from here. So it's awkward with your left foot turn out to the right. We come to a twist from here. Push on the right side, sit up nice and tall, pull up, and bring, if you balance at the left elbow on the outer edge of your right knee, and then maybe the right palms on top of the left palms into that lovely twisted form. Push your toes on your left foot, and the hips move slightly forward to create some space. If you want to be upright in that twist, you don't have to catch the palms at all. You can have right hand on your side, left elbow onto your right side, and a gently twist upright. But this foot, super engaged. No matter where you are in the twist, you're really engaging your tops of your left foot because you're really going into that hip. Release the twist. Bring yourself back to the floor. Pull back. Now your left knee is going to stay where it is. It's the right leg goes behind exactly to the left side of your mat. But this time your left knee is in front. Readjust yourself. So left knee in front of the right knee. Tops of your feet on the mat. And lightly extend your arms out. Drop the chest and bring your forearm down. Elbow together. Palms together. Left knee in front. Squeeze in. Round your back and look towards your left knee. Push your little fingers down. Round your back. Tone the navel. Inhale. And exhale. Please engage your tops of your feet. And now if the knees is hurt, another mat or blanket. Beautifully. Inhale softly. Exhale. Then come back up. Press your palms. Remember the blocks. You can grab the blocks, walk them slightly back. So you have your left knee still on the ground. Push on the blocks. Now, when we lift the hand, sometimes the knee will come off. Then you draw the knee down. This is where your right hip will turn out. Squeeze the hips. Push up your bone. And you can have the hands on that blocks. Or it's the really outer part of that is the IT band really stretching. And sometimes you feel it lightly click. It's okay, but not pain. It feels like inside, in yourself, you think, oh, I might die in a moment. But I can show you it's a really great stretch. Now, when we work with the outer part, it goes really deep in the inside as well. Okay, ready to drop forward, go slowly, take your hands with the blocks. Or if you're going without the blocks, tone the navel and push your feet down, step your hand down. Now when it comes to downward dog this way, extend your arms out, tuck your toes, stay with your outer edge of your feet. You might be towards the back of your mat, just readjust yourself, because I'm a little bit on the back, and come to that downward dog form. So your left hamstring, push on the quads of the right side, push and breathing in and breathing out. Soft inhale. Exhale, slowly lower the left knee. Now very gently, take a big trousers. Step your left foot between your hands. Tops of your right foot on the mat. Towards the left side of your mat. And then gently pull up. When you pull up, you're going to be go slowly on your right knee. So on the navel, that left knee, naturally going to go out. That's why I want you to claw on your toes, on your left foot, and that's hopefully stay steady, working that part. Lengthen, remember, twist could be here. If you go in deeper, right elbow, push on the back knee, left knee, pull in, stay here, or left palms on top, push backward. Engage, tops of your right foot, really breathe to the right side of your body. Nice inhale, beautiful exhale. Draw the thigh muscle bone to the bone. Inhale deeply. And exhale very gently. Release your hand. And then we're going to step back this time into child pose. Your knee back, big toe touching, knees apart, and nicely into a extended child pose, always good. Or child pose, by your hand by your side. Good, let's take breath in. And when you're ready, just gently come to seated wide legs. With this one, if you can, use a strap, because definitely we're going to open the side body and we're going to hold the pose. So you can use a blanket under the sit bone if you feel your back rounded, or you need like a little a belt with a little loop in front of you. Now, inner thigh, draw inward. The sit bone open. Now, all of this opening is going to help us to open as well into the side body. But first, we're going to do a few gentle moves to release any stagnant energy from the hips. So if your heel doesn't like it on the floor, please turn your mat. And that means your buttock will be off the ground, off the mat, so your heel on the ground, or a blanket. Now, lean about kind of less than halfway. And when you lean, shoulders will go forward first, and your back rounded. Notice it. So round your shoulders for a moment, see how you feel. Then pull the shoulders back. Notice the difference to the hips, how the hips not working when the shoulder rounded. And the moment you pull the shoulder blade back, and straight away you get space here and goes into the inner groin. So hold it here, but move right and move left. And now when you do this, try to keep the opposite side grounded. So kind of like your upper body moving. You don't have to lift the hands. I'm just showing you lightly. Keep your hand down, because the hand is going to be this kind of like a grounding connection. And then some of us can start to go a little bit more closer towards the earth. You don't have to. You can stay upright. If your shoulder is going so much quicker, then don't. Stay up here. Loosen up into the stagnant energy from the side. And like I say, if your hips and hamstring open, you can actually get a lot closer to the earth. But please don't force it. Good. And slowly going to come back to the center, wherever you are, whether you're halfway, 3/4, all the way, hold it there, fingertip inside, or the blocks on the floor, or fingertip on the blocks, elbows in direction of your knee, behind your knee, lightly towards the knee, pull the shoulder blade, lengthen and breathe and hold it here. Don't hold the breath. You just hold the pose. Push your heel towards the imaginary wall, toes towards the sky, quads engage, and nice inhale. Now slowly stay as low as you are, walk over to the right leg. Hands either side, you pull the ribs in and lightly fold over the right leg. So this is where I'm going to ask you to grab a belt if you wish, wrap it on the ball of your right foot and hold it with both hands with that loop. Bring the elbow closer to your right side and gently fold over the right leg. Now, as we fold, your left hip will come up. We're going to keep grounded on your left hip. Inhale and exhale. This is already have a twist. Your body, we'll go to the second phase soon, but like your body wants to turn to the right, or your ribs want to turn to the right, you open your upper body towards the left actually. So we're trying to get as much as we can the upper torso to move down towards the right side. So that means if you notice your hips going in one direction and your shoulders, they're like kind of like in one different direction. So your shoulders are hovering, the same width, still there, but like parallel to the earth. Your hips are moving, or they're like towards the front. Good. Now, is your right hand goes into the belt, even though you might be able to catch your foot. Let's take the belt and bring the right elbow to push against the knee, so your elbow's on the ground. And see if you can slide your forearm actually into the ground. So pull to the back, like your left hand to your side, open that space. Now we're taking the right shoulder level with your right knee, right elbow, left shoulder will stack. What happens often, left shoulders roll down. We are moving from what we did earlier. We're moving away to open this left side of the body. Now, very gently, there's a few things you can do. You can take the left arm up and over all the way to the leg, or you can bend your elbow like we tapped the opposite shoulders earlier when we were standing. So my left hand goes behind my head, towards the right shoulder, and I'm leaning towards that right leg, but I'm keeping the left elbow up. So this is a deep, beautiful stretch on the intercostal. You're gonna use this for the core on your right side, otherwise you collapse. So we're creating lengthen and strengthen to go deeper towards the right. And eventually I'm gonna show you the right hand will go closer to your foot to a point actually you can hold the foot, but don't hold it. I'm gonna tease the foot. I know we can hold it, but don't hold it. I'm gonna keep the palms open upward on your right hand, so you're looking at your forearm, or your forearm looking out, like when we massaged it earlier. So we get this deeper connection between your right shoulder and your right thigh. Definitely the left buttocks is grounded. Really open that left side of your body. And if you're shoulders and you're okay, you can extend the left hand in direction of that right leg to a point where you're reaching the little toe side. But you keep your palms facing the upper torso, then direction. My left palms, my upper torso moving or facing the left side. You don't have to look up, you just look down or look directly in front of you. Really deep stretch, inhale. And exhale one more time. It can be a long time here. Please come out if you feel to. Be here for another 2 breaths. Deep ujjayi. Always come back to the heart. Always the dance happen inside the heart and in between the heart and around it. Now to come out, lower your left hand down, slowly release the bow, bring your right hand and pull it, that side is gonna feel, so lovely stretch. Come back to the center. Ground yourself, take the belt of your foot, keep it on your left side, and we're gonna go back how we started. Upright position, ground yourself, come again, a little bit, maybe more or the same as we did. Or maybe a bit, if your hips already open up, you might go a little bit more, engage, sway left, sway right. So gentle swaying, your hand closer to your knees, elbows towards the back, and feel that swaying action, and have a sip of waking as well. Keep going. Now if you start to feel going a little bit more ground, keep the elbows back, keep the shoulders back, and see if you can go a bit more to the ground, or please stay as you are. You know, if I give option for your benefit, not to go to that. You know, we don't ask you to go to the deep end if you can't swim. You know, you can stay in the shallow end. It's absolutely okay. It is your practice, always is your practice. Now, as you move over to the left, very slowly. Now, before we do this, I mean, this side is a little bit for me. What I do, I lift up, I pull the right side a little bit back, so I don't want to collapse it, and I gently, so kind of like move it from the inside of my thigh, lightly to the outside. So I'm creating more deeper twist, kind of by helping. Then I ground my right thigh, and I start to go down. And then this is where the belt come back on the foot, on the ball, and I have either side of that loop with my hand, wrap the elbow around the side of me, pull the left rib, bring the right front ribs down, ground the right side, and fold over that left leg. Normally shoulders roll around, lift up, and breathe. So kind of like always an indication for you. If you're kind of more your forehead aligned with your knee, you're in a good place. If your forehead aligns with your thigh, you're so far up and your back is rounded. And you're creating actually more tension on your back and your shoulders than actually going deep. So ideally, if you feel, oh my God, my head towards my thigh, have a look quickly on the screen, I'm lifting up. This is okay to be here. That's why the belts help me. So a lot of times, even I use another technique for you, my opposite hand to the belt, my left hand on the outer edge, I turn first, and then I stay up here. So kind of like I engage different muscles to allow me, because this will allow me to go deeper over. You see how my head becomes way over my knee, but my right sit bone is not lifted. And this is a tiny bit of opening my right side and at the same time not collapsing on my left side to go. So that's why the twist happening already. Please take your time, wherever you are, breathing in, breathing out. Good. Beautifully. Come back upright. Bring your left hand inside the belt. Drop the forearm down. You notice how the wrist coming up. So I'm going to try to bring the wrist closer to the earth. So first, we're going to kind of like lock the energy into the shoulders, into the knee. Pull that knee against the elbow. Pull the shoulder back. Turn towards the other leg, towards your right leg. Turn the navel. Lift the ribs slightly. Inhale. Remember the form. The right hand goes behind your head towards your opposite shoulder and lightly turn towards the straight leg out there. Or you can, as you bring that hand closer, the right arm extended, turn your palms in direction of the other leg towards the upper torso. Breathe and open. Another one, you can stay upright. Another way, have a look as well. So another easy form. And by I mean easy is suitable for your body. This is for me actually much more challenging than go down because I'm engaging different muscles to turn and to create this space here. So it doesn't mean it's easy. Like I say, please remember the wording we choose in yoga sometimes is very, very tricky. And, for example, if sometimes we say, is this more advanced? It's not. It's the same pose, but it's advanced for each in particular person. The love thing advanced for me is actually one of them in a way, because if I'm collapsing this way, I'm not doing my body any good. I'm lifting up and I'm trying to open that side, but not collapse on that side. This is very challenging. Yes, I'm taking the easy way then. It's absolutely okay. Take your time to slowly, wherever you are, come out of that pose, come back to the center. Inhale and exhale, and very, very slowly pick up underneath your knee. Bring your feet on the ground and give yourself a light, gentle hug. And roll a little bit side to side from the sit bone, from the hips. Okay, good, we have that. So I did promise to do a little bit on the shoulders. Make sure you're comfortably seated upright. I'm going to move sideways. So now, if you're seated, easy pose, whatever you are, don't let the back go. That's definitely for sure. Now, bring your palms together, bring your elbow and forearm together, and lift the elbows to the point where shoulders gonna feel. If you do the shoulder practice with me on Saturday, you'll know how the shoulders feel. Okay, now separate the fingertip, the palms away. It's gonna be hard because the elbow's gonna drop. Press the palm, separate the elbow. Keep toward the navel, push your forearm. You can do this standing, by the way. We're seated. We're not going to do it for long. We'll do more on Saturday. I promise you. It's really great for Saturday class. Push your forearm and see how, oh my God, I can feel the shoulder shaking already. My elbow dropped. Press the palms and lift the elbows up. Pull the shoulder blade back. Inhale and exhale. Then release and down. You should have your shoulders on fire now. This is a very simple one. Often we do this, we don't realize. Often we shoulders drop as well. Great work, guys. Let's come on your back. Have a strap ready for some nice hamstring stretch. So when you're on your back, Bring the strap as is and wrap it around your right leg, left leg straight. And then when you're on your back, the same when you were seated wide-legged. So I want you to hold the loop, inner spiral your thigh, careful with the belt, your toes facing towards you. And when you use the loop, you can get your shoulders actually on the ground, your neck is long. And I'm pushing my foot against the belt and I'm pulling the belt towards me. And that already feels the hamstring open and stretch. And you keep pushing the belt and you keep pulling the belt. So when we did this form earlier, so kind of like your right foot is your back leg. Remember we were standing and you were on the ball of your back foot, so your left foot is the front foot. You claw lightly, so create a bigger arch on your foot. It's difficult because there's nothing to grip. And draw the left thigh muscle to the bone. And as you push your heel on your right foot, bring the leg towards you more. It's going to be tricky to see on the left leg because there's nothing to grip, that's all. But the whole idea is to engage those quads on your left side, because the moment we arch the foot, you create this lengthen, strength, and to pull the right leg more towards you. Good. Now, slowly, the belt goes in your left hand only. The right hand, you're going to use your thumb right on the grease. So sometimes you're going to have to let go slightly of the belt. Sorry, loosen up the belt. Don't let go of it. Bring the thumb on the grease of your hips where the femur bone push into the bone, the hip bone. Then you push your thumbs into that bone, out. Bring the belt with your leg, and then cross over to the left, but keep pushing that hip bone away, femur bone away, till you find this IT band, the stretch on your right glute performance, and stop. Inhale. Now, if you know your femur bone keep pushing out the bone socket, then you can let go of the right hand. However, you can use actually your right heel of your hand, push against the thigh now. But remember, you're not going much. If you have a glimpse, you're not sure, please come up and have a look. I'm taking the right leg across slightly. My left leg still active, my quad still active, my sit bone is grounded, my shoulders grounded, and that opening through the right leg more. Inhale here, exhale one more time. Beautiful. Slowly bring the right leg back to the center. Hold the belt on your right hand. And when you're ready to open the right leg halfway, and I want you to keep your right eye, the gaze, onto the right leg, and you want to still see the toe. Often that leg will drop all the way and we roll on the right side. So bring it halfway, elbow in direction to the earth, push your heel out, pull the foot towards you, but keep your gaze, keep looking up by the way, so your right eye, you still can see your right foot, right toe. And hold it there, don't hold the breath. Breathe. If you're not seeing your foot or your toe is going too low to the earth, then you give it up. You're letting go. We need to let go of things, not this. We need to really engage. Beautifully, come back to the center of that right leg. Take your left hand onto your calves. Release the belt. That leg is going to feel a little bit shaky side to side. Straighten your right leg. Bring the left leg up. Hold the belt on the ball of your foot. You can take the right foot down, by the way, knee to the sky. Or you can take your left leg, right leg. Holding inside the loop the hand. Push your foot against the belt. Pull the belt towards you. That's what you're doing first. Engage on the ball of your right foot. Push your right foot away. Push your right feet away. First. Again. Foot against the belt. Pull the belt towards you. Inner spiral of your thigh. Now, claw the toe lightly on your right foot. Engage your quads, your lower back, and do the same with your left leg. So when you close the toe, you'll feel a slightly different dynamic in your right thigh. Take your time. Because remember, there's an imaginary wall. You close the toe. It doesn't feel anything because there's nothing to close to. But I really want you to engage your core. It's all of you. At the same time, push your foot up and pull the belt towards you. Shoulders back. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now the belt is in your right hand. The left arm, if you can, onto the crease of your hips. You want to a little bit loosen up the grip of the belt, please do, and you can come back to it. Push, throw the femur bone out, hips out, cross the leg over to the right. Not too much till you feel enough. Now your right leg will roll same direction. Keep your toes towards the sky on your right leg and throw the thigh muscle to the bone. Now as you cross the leg, stop here, breathing in. There's another twist happening. Your shoulders level, your hips start to pull. But we're not going to leave a twist. We are really getting into the IT band. This is where we start to initiate the twist, by the way. But we're not going to the twist. We're really getting to the band. It's the hip flexor, the quads, the leg. Inhale nicely. Exhale. Back to the center. Switch hands. Right hand, sit on your side, by your side, by on your side. Now, when you're ready to take the left leg out, remember, push up first. Otherwise, it's pushing towards the femur bone. You're engaging this energy towards you and over to the left. Keep looking up, but your left eye gazing to the left toe. You still see it. Now, pull towards you. So I'm bending the elbow towards the floor and pushing the foot towards the bounce. Soften through the ribs. Engage your quads, your core. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale here. Beautifully. Exhale. Bring your leg back to the center. Bend your knees slightly. Catch your calves. Take the belt away. Place your left foot on the ground. Right foot on the ground. Both feet on the ground, knee a little bit apart, and sway the knees side to side. At some point, when it comes to a twist, and allow them to drop slowly towards the earth as you sway right, sway left. And then finally come to your right or your left side and stay there. Now, when we go with both knees to one side, your shoulders are grounded. You can take your arms wide open. You can connect through the elbows, bend the back of the hand on the ground. Neck is long, looking up. So now this is where we're getting into this twist. Your hips are starting to slightly stack, your shoulders level. But remember where we initiated to come to that supine twist. Inhale here. Exhale, move over to the other direction. And again, stay there and notice how you feel with the inhale and the exhale. Beautifully. Another inhale here. Exhale, bring your knee back to the center. Give your knees gentle hug. Gentle roll side to side. We come to nice Shavasana. Please have some layers. Have your blanket, have your socks, have your jumper. Turn the light down a little bit if you wish. Or off if you wish. And time to really and truly let go. When you're into Shavasana, you let go of the mudra. You don't have to do mudra, but if you feel you want to connect it, go back to the thumb and index finger and return your palms down. However, you can fully surrender into the mudra. Relax everything in your back. If your feet want to be in the ground, you can, or you leg straight out and turn your toes out and simply let go fully.